Hey everybody, Lightweight here, and this is episode 3 of FFA with Legends, and as you can see I had to speed up the video simply because it didn't fit in my 15-minute allotment that I have, so the speeding up will end in about 20 seconds or so don't worry about it, and I'm not going to give away the ending of who wins either, simply because I want you guys to watch the whole video, or at least stay for the majority of it. So anyway, let's get into the tips that I have for FFA play. Now, this is not a map that I typically think is used for FFA. I'm not sure what map MLG uses for FFA, or even if they have FFA, simply because I've just been doing team games in MLG play. So, just keep this clear, this is the MLG game type. So, it's pretty fun, I enjoy it, and as you can see, there's Jetpack and there's Hologram, and there's Armor Lock on the map, I believe, as well. Now, I just killed Gold Glove, and the dude spawned right in front of me. That kinda sucked, but whatever. So anyway, for the tips that I have for you guys, it's mainly about map awareness and player awareness and nade placement. Now the most important thing for FFA and any FFA game in general is going to be kill stealing. Because in team games there's no such thing as kill stealing. It's all about kills that reward the team. But in FFA it's going to be always about you. Be a selfish bastard and steal every kill possible. And that's the way I play these games. So as you can see, throughout the entire length of this video, whenever I get into a fight with Tetra Ninja, for whatever reason, I can't kill the kid. I shoot him like crazy, and it seems like my shots just don't connect. My bullets don't like Tetra Ninja, and they stay away from him. So Nick, if you're watching, feel free to comment on my failness of our fights with a DMR. Anyway, every time I die as well, I'm also watching around myself and my carcass, and I'm seeing who is low shields, where are they standing, who are they fighting, are they just camping it out waiting for the shields to come back, because typically that can mean an easy kill for you. Now here, I know there's someone chasing me while I'm shooting Juice, and I actually get assassinated because of it, because I couldn't do anything about it. Now typically, there is a way to do something about it, but I wasn't sure how to do it there, if that makes any sense to you guys. So typically, if someone doesn't know if I'm around them, I will try and beat them down once and then go for the easy headshot or second beatdown, simply because you don't want to waste your ammo on someone who doesn't even know that you're there. There doesn't seem to be a point to do that. So here, as you can see, I spawned underneath Sniper, and I'm taking shots from 3 different directions, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Now sometimes you just have to acknowledge the fact that, yep, this is a loss for this life, and just die. You know, sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it at all, and accept defeat. And that's okay. Now, let's see. I pick up an easy kill on Juice, and I know that Rags is right behind me, and I'm doing my best to throw off his shot and confuse him about where I am entirely, and it actually works out really well, but for whatever reason Gold Glove was right there to pick up an easy kill on me with a double beatdown, and it worked out well for him, but not so much for me. So, let's see. And here's Gold Glove yet again. I seem to spawn next to him all the time. Now, his mistake there was throwing his nade mid-battle. There is no excuse for throwing a nade mid-DMR fight. Never ever do it. You're only going to throw a grenade at the beginning of the battle, or at the end if you think you're going to die, or if you think it'll pick you up an easy kill and you can get behind cover quickly. But never throw it mid-DMR fight. It's just going to end badly for you. Now, here we have another little fight with Tetra Ninja, but as you can see, there's Dunkus over there up on top Sniper, and I saw him out of the corner of my eye earlier. So that's the kind of thing you want to do. When you're playing, make sure you're not giving yourself tunnel vision. You want to be always scanning the areas that are directly in front of you and figuring out different ways to proceed in your DMR fight, basically. So here I'm using sound, and I knew that someone was right behind me getting shot at, so I figured, you know, why not throw a nade instead of go for the easy headshot, and it actually picked up a kill on MPB. Now, at the same time, Juice came up behind me and started shooting me, and we ended up getting the same, you know, kill thing going on here. We traded off kills. Now, as I spawned, there's nothing much I could do there. I got sniped by Rags, and here's another epic battle with Tetra Ninja, which always turns into a big clusterfuck. So there's another example of how I play FFA. Typically when I'm no shields and I'm behind cover, I'm always going to expect someone to throw a nade. And typically if I can anticipate where they're going to throw it, I can also jump out of the way. Which is the nice thing about MLG FFA settings, is because whenever there is a nade placed directly right next to you, because of the changed gravity settings, or jump height I should say, and movement speed, you're able to avoid nades much more easily than you would in an actual FFA game in matchmaking on Reach. Now, since Tetra didn't know where I was, or at least he didn't know how to go about the situation for whatever reason, I don't mean, that sounded insulting, I did not mean that, Tetra. He just didn't know if he should stay where he was or jump off, and he chose to jump off, which actually landed me the easy kill, simply because I wouldn't have been able to shoot him. So if you can, take cover as quickly as you can, at least as best you can, because if you can figure out where someone is standing and shooting you from, you can assess the situation better and kind of take a breather, which I think is one of the most important things in FFA as well, because a lot of times it feels so hectic to a player who just doesn't understand what's going on. Maybe a new player, somebody who's never played Halo before. They might think, oh man, there's so much going on. How am I supposed to process this all at once? And I guess just take it one step at a time. Like here, I knew that X-Rax was shooting at me from behind, so I figured, I'll throw a nade against the wall to try and dissuade him from either charging me or probably getting his shields down. Now here, I knew that somebody was behind me simply because I was getting shot in the back, and I tried to do a Halo 3 ninja assassination, and I just couldn't pull it off. It's very difficult to pull off in Reach. Now, here's a good example of what Tetra Ninja did that threw me off pretty well. He jumped, and because of that, I wasn't able to follow him very easily, and I lost him completely, and I ended up getting beat down by Gold Glove, I believe. Maybe it was Tetra. I didn't actually get to read it in time, because these FFA games are very quick. And I'm always looking at spawn locations as well. Spawn locations typically are going to be anywhere where you see cover, or is just a typical starting spawn position. Typically people are going to spawn in these rocks areas, on their base, or by sniper. And because of that, you're never going to see someone spawning in the middle of the map, out in the middle of nowhere. You're just not going to see that. That's not where the spawn locations are. Now here I dropped down because I'm trying to pick up that easy kill on the person who has no shields running out of the base, but sadly someone had already picked him up, and that's perfectly fine, simply because that's how you play FFA. Let's see here. There wasn't much I could do about that. I should have saw Dunkus I should have saw Dunkus on Ring 2, but sadly I didn't see him mid-game because I myself got tunnel vision. Now here I actually saw NPB run around. He turned around and tried to surprise me, but since I saw him move to his left, I could assume that he was going to try and come around some cover, and it worked out well in my favor. So here, I knew that I think it was Gold Glove. I knew that Gold Glove had sniper, and typically when you approach someone who has just picked up sniper, they're going to try and no-scope you instead of trying to get a nice quick scope on you like they would in Call of Duty. So typically that just kind of assuming in your mind that they have sniper and they're going to want to try and no-scope you, you can crouch, and typically that will throw someone off fairly easily. Now you'll see that if I'm ever in a 2v1 situation, I'm going to try and get shots on, at least 3 shots on a person, and then if someone else is shooting at me, I'm going to try and throw a nade to get their shields down low, and usually it'll pick me up a nice double kill, but not always. A lot of these situations are just, they're just that. They're situational, so a lot of times it's not going to work out in your favor, but when it does, it's very satisfying. And I think that that's a good example here of how I handled a double kill, because I went around to the backside of Juice and actually assassinated him to get a very quick kill on him, and I knew his opponent didn't know that happened yet, so he was going to come out of cover and try and kill him. Now I had more shields than Juice, so obviously I'm going to pick up a nice double kill with an easy headshot. Oh man, this is a very long video, so excuse me if I run out of things to say sometimes. I'll just be quiet, or I'll try to. And let's see here. So there's a good example of how it's okay if you die, simply because Dunkus and I traded kills, meaning the score is going to stay even. Now, whatever you can do to keep that score from going down against you is for the better. Because if we can trade kills, that means the score is going to be even between us, and I know that Dunkus is one of the guys that I'm competing with for the top spot. So I figured, that's fine. That's not something to get upset about. Because a lot of times I think that newer players get so frustrated that they just want to give up. They just want to say, like, you know, screw this, and, you know, I'll try and do better next time, but I'm going to stop playing this game for now. I'm too pissed off. Things like that. Now, I want to clarify that I do get very angry when I play because of the way that some people play, you know, running straight at you, trying to kill you with a shotgun, or trying to beat you down. But not getting frustrated is probably the hardest and most advantageous thing you can do when playing Halo. Because while the game can be very frustrating, if you can keep your cool, you're going to be much more effective in playing any game type. So you notice that also when I think that someone is approaching me quickly, I throw the nade almost directly at the ground, so it gets a nice one bounce, and because of that one bounce, its second bounce is going to make it explode. So if they are within range of it, I might pick up an easy kill, I might not. So here, I know I lost my kill. My easy one-shot kill is now gone, and I figured, no, he's gone, just let him go. Someone else is going to clean him up. Because if you chase, typically you're just going to end up getting naded. And I'm sorry for this, I don't know why Theater Mode decided to put me away. It put me on somebody else's third-person perspective. So whatever, that's fine. Now, understanding where the high traffic areas is also a great idea, simply because you're going to find the most action there. I mean, it's just common sense to me. And I'm sorry if it's hard for me to explain some things. If you want me to go over things in more detail, please, you know, let me know in the comments, because when I go over things that I consider to be almost second nature to me, it's very difficult for me to elaborate on those. So if you want to know something very specific, let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to provide assistance to it. Now here I was completely fooled by Dunkus's hologram. In my mind, I know that no one has armor abilities except those that pick it up. And there's only, what, 2 or 3 on the map? So I'm assuming that everyone has no armor abilities except for things like the jetpack and armor lock and hologram. So because of that, I make the bold assumption that it's actually Dunkus running at me, and I throw a nade, and he actually snipes me in the face because of it. So that's a mistake on my part. Now the quick way to distinguish if it's a hologram or not is to see the red name over their head. That is the quickest and most efficient way. Now here you'll get me see a good nade spot from me, because I knew Dunkus was going to charge up that ramp, because there's no other way that's fast to try and kill me, to come up to that ramp anyway. I figured, you know, I would throw a nade directly on that ramp as he came up, and it took his shields down almost immediately, and I picked up an easy one shot. I think I remember him saying during the game that that nade was pretty much perfect because he landed right on it. And I was like, yep. That sounded dumb. I wish I could cut that out of the commentary. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see, I'm up 42-39 on Dunkus. He is in the second spot. And right now, I'm just looking around for somebody to shoot. What's going on here? And I see that this guy is no shields. Simply because I can distinguish who is no shields very quickly by seeing that yellow flare. Whenever I see that, I immediately go for that kill first. No matter who I see around me, no matter who I'm shooting at, I'm going to try and pick up an easy one shot. Now, if I have 2 guys shooting at me at once, and that no shields guy is across the map, I'm obviously not going to go for that kind of kill. But if the person who has no shields are absolute, as you can hear from Biohunter and his commentaries, or his live commentaries, if they are no shields and they are directly in front of me while I'm trying to pick up a kill, I'm going to still go for it, and I'll do my best to pick it up. Now here's a situation where Gold Glove has Sniper, and I'm figuring that he is going to try and no-scope me, and I get a pretty much fail kill on him simply because I just didn't slow my shot down enough. And you'll see that through this entire video. I should have slowed down my shots quite a bit, and I'm definitely working on that still. It's very new to me because I'm not used to it, but I'll get there eventually. So I think the game is coming up to a wrap in about 20 seconds or so here, 10 seconds actually. And I made a very quick decision that someone was shooting behind me and threw a nade directly on where they would have to rush me. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.